So the Girl Scouts in this movie are replaced, presumably just completely erased by the Bumblebees program.
Yeah.
It's Bumblebee Scouting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you remember the Nickelodeon cartoon The Mighty Bee?
I do.
That was also about like a Girl Scout / Bumblebee themed Girl Scout.
Yeah.
Is this just a thing?
Is it a thing in real life that we're not a part of?
Because I've never heard about it other than those two pieces of media.
Is Bumblebee is just a really easy theme? I mean, it's like you're wearing yellow and black.
Yeah.
And brown.
But it's interesting, how do those connect with Girl Scouts? Is it because they work in like a hive?
They're worker bees.
Each bee has a role. But it could be like an anthill. Why not? I guess bees are more marketable.
Bees are a lot cuter.
I mean, ants can be cute.
No.
Dang.
What color are you going to wear for the ants?
Well, it depends.
Brown.
Are you a fire ant?
We're the fire ants. We cause pain and discomfort to everyone we encounter.
There are bees that are called like bee scouts. That's one of the type of worker bees.
Mm-hmm.
Don't think that's
and
really what it's about.
The stripes is cute, and the little wings, and honey is sweet, and you have the hives for cute decoration, like the honeycomb shape. It's a pretty solid theme. Ants is not a solid theme.
When I'm doing some Googling right now, I don't see anyone, like, other than these two pieces of media, I can see nothing else talking about, like, intersection between Girl Scouts and Bumblebees. Why isn't Boy Scouts bee related?
I don't know. Okay, the Mighty Bee came first.
So this just ripped off the Mighty Bee.
Mm-hmm.
Disney ripped off Nick. Wouldn't be the first time.
Did you know Amy Poehler voiced her Mighty Bee?
No, I did not know that. Huh. That's kind of crazy.
Welcome, everybody, to the DCOM Duo podcast.
I'm Benji.
I'm Kelsey.
We're the DCOM Duo
podcast.
Woo! And today we're covering the Mighty Bee.
No, today we're covering Den Brother.
Was the Mighty Bee any good?
I watched a little bit of it as a kid. I don't know. I thought it was fine.
I felt like I just never really watched it.
I don't remember a whole lot. Today we're talking about Den Brother.
Yeah.
Completely different channel. This is Disney Channel.
Well, not completely different. They're both kids programming.
They are
nations.
different. I meant we don't talk about Nickelodeon here. We talk about Disney Channel.
I bet you someone in your factos that you did is like a Nickelodeon.
Briefly. Oh, you're so right. It's 100% what happened. Yeah. But no worries. Den Brother is a movie that released on the Disney Channel. I never really watched this one as a kid. Actually, in fact, I never did. I did not watch this until we watched every single movie.
I'm quite confident I saw like an ad or two for this, and that's it.
Yeah, no, I remember it existing and seeing like commercials when it came out, but I never watched it.
I'm going to say this right away. I feel like the whole time, the whole atmosphere around this movie is like, this is a bad movie, except for the fact that it's not.
I know. I really expected it to be bad.
It's such a sleeper hit. It doesn't feel like it's going to be good.
I was very pleasantly surprised. It's one of the most pleasantly surprised I've been. And there are other movies that I expected to be bad and were fine. But this one, I'm like, wow, that really wasn't bad.
It was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Borderline good.
Shout out Den Brother.
Shout out Den Brother.
Thanks for watching.
Yeah. Shout out Den Brother for like not being a shitty movie. Because there are definitely movies around this era that were bad.
Honestly, yeah, a lot of DCOMs, it's so hit or miss, I feel like, and this just stinks of a miss. But it's not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I don't know how much more to say right now.
I mean, we can start talking about the movie, but first, if we had fan mail, which we don't because we never do, we would read it. So if you want to send your thoughts about any
Make our day.
Email the decomduo@gmail.com or comment on our TikToks that I am very behind on. And
I mean, by the time this posts, maybe TikTok's dead.
Maybe, yeah, honestly, why even bother making more if TikTok's gonna be banned anyway? But hey, go to YouTube.
They've threatened it so many times, I'm not sure it actually will happen.
If TikTok's gone and I find my inspiration to keep making TikToks, I will post them on YouTube.
That's what I've already been making edits for.
All of the TikToks are already going to our YouTube channel anyway as shorts. So I will just continue to put them there. Because I do enjoy making them. It's just I've been really busy with other things in my life that I haven't really had time to do it. But I should be having more free time soon. So.
Huzzah.
Huzzah.
But yeah, email us at the DCOMduo@gmail.com.
Yes.
And it can be about this movie, any movie, or
the
nothing
last
else.
movie, the future movie, any movie. Any DCOM ever. We've seen them all.
We've seen all of them. That's such a Herculean task. No one's even emailed us to be like, wow, good job. That's impressive.
I know. Not even our friends who were there with us when we did it. All right. So Ten Brother. I did the factos today.
Wow.
So are you ready to get into the DCOM Duo factos?
Give me the Den Brother factos.
All right. Den Brother was released August 13th, 2010.
Wow. That feels right.
You had just turned 11, and I was also 11.
Crazy.
So we were probably still watching Disney Channel.
Again, I'm pretty confident I saw ads for this.
Yeah, but I never watched this one.
I vaguely feel like I may have caught the last 20 minutes once.
Yeah. It's the 79th DCOM. The director is Mark L. Taylor.
Mark L. Taylor.
Do you recognize that name?
Have we covered him before?
Mm-hmm.
What have we covered him in?
Well, we have not covered him as a director before.
Oh.
We have covered him as an actor because he played Fulton in High School Musical 2. And he's in Eddie's $1 Million Cook-Off.
Oh, it's this guy.
And The Other Me.
Oh, we love this guy.
We love this guy. It blew my mind. I was starting the factors. I looked at the director. I clicked on his name. I'm like, no freaking way. It's this guy. This is his only director DCOM. And he had 3 other projects that didn't really, I didn't recognize them. So it didn't really matter. He directed a DCOM. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. We sing his praises a lot in High School Musical 2. I think he does a really good job in that film, doing the exact role that film needed.
Yeah, and he's in 2 other DCOMs.
But yeah, in terms of his directing style, I don't know. Again, this movie feels like such a wild card because it just works when it feels like it shouldn't.
I know. so I feel like
props to him on that, I guess. He made it work.
Yeah. So we talked about his acting in High School Musical 2, so I'm not really going to get into it. And yeah, he didn't really direct much else. Now going into our cast. Our main character, Alex Pearson, is played by Hutch Dano. His first role was Ramona in Beezus.
Heard of that? I realized I don't even know what it is.
Yeah, it's a movie. Selena Gomez is in it. Based on a book, I think. So that was his first role, and then he did Den Brother. And then after Den Brother, he did 2 episodes of The Sweet Life on Deck as a character called Moose. And then he starred in the Disney XD show Zeke and Luther. And he was Zeke.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Since that show, he didn't really do much that I recognize.
I guess Zeke and Luther is a pretty big role. I felt like I didn't recognize him for much, and I was kind of surprised why not, considering he was at least big enough to be the star of a DCOM.
A DCOM in 2010 specifically.
Yeah.
Because obviously there was a lot of unknown stars in the early DCOMs, but I feel like once they hit High School Musical pretty much, it's you put your stars in.
Yeah, they really try and cross-promote a lot with DCOMs.
Yeah.
And it kind of felt weird because I feel like he does completely fine. I don't think he does a bad job in this film.
Mm-hmm.
I think he gives a fun performance, but it's also I feel like I didn't recognize him from anything else. Mm-hmm. But I guess Zeke and Luther. Never really watched the show.
No, I didn't really watch much of Disney XD. So.
Well, yeah, it was for the boys.
It was for the boys. Next, we have Emily Pearson. She is played by G. Hanelius.
Fun name, I guess.
Yeah. Watching the movie, Benji and I were both like, God, she must have been in so much. Her face is very recognizable. I feel like she hasn't been in that much. She just has a very distinct face.
She's in Dog with a Blog, right?
Yeah.
I feel like that's what I remember the most from.
That was her big role, specifically in the Disney Channel sphere. She was in Dog with a Blog, which, yeah, you watched that show, right?
Watch would be putting too much credit. I saw more than a couple episodes.
Which is a lot more than me. Her first acting credit was one episode of Hannah Montana. And, then she did Den Brother. And other things on Disney Channel, she did 6 episodes of Sunny with a Chance and 4 episodes of Good Luck Charlie. And then she's just done, like, all of the Air Buddies movies.
She one of the buddies?
Yeah, she was Rosebud. At least for some of them, so. And nothing much since Dog with a Blog, but on her Wikipedia it says she's like a YouTube personality, so maybe she's on YouTube. Next we have Matisse. She is played by Kelsey Asbill Chow.
Oh my god, it's you.
Yeah. She is of Native American descent. She was in One Tree Hill for 18 episodes, which I'm assuming is a decent role.
I mean, 18 episodes is a lot.
Yeah. I thought it was funny that she was in The Amazing Spider-Man listed as hot girl. But then because I was going in order of her career, so it's like, oh, okay, she had a very minor role in Amazing Spider-Man. And then I was surprised how much she's done since then. So she was, there's Den Brother. She was also in Pair of Kings, which was another Disney XD show.
Yeah.
As like a main role in that show. She did 13 episodes of Teen Wolf.
That's definitely not nothing.
Yeah, and she was in season 4 of Fargo. And now she's currently in Yellowstone.
As like a main cast member?
As Monica Dutton. It's been 53 episodes.
So probably, yeah.
Probably a main
So just casually, a like major character on one of the biggest TV shows on the planet right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
I know, it surprised me too.
I felt like I didn't recognize her at all. But then again, nothing that you said is anything I've watched.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. Yeah. But good for her.
And it definitely, I bet in Yellowstone, it mentioned a lot about her like Native American heritage when I was looking up about her. So I wouldn't be surprised if she's like some kind of Native American role in Yellowstone. But I don't know what Yellowstone's about, so who knows? Other people who know.
Yeah. It's a whole thing. No one from our generation knows. No, it's impossible to figure out.
It's all of the generation above us. Okay, next we have Goose. He's played by David Lambert. From what I could tell, no relation to Adam Lambert.
Did you Google that around? Lambert's not that uncommon.
I know.
The last name. Any relation to like Miranda Lambert?
Probably not. The main thing that he did other than Den Brother was The Fosters. He was like a main role in The Fosters.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
ABC Family / Disney Channel connection that you see pop up from time to time.
Now known as Freeform.
But at the time was known as ABC Family.
At the time, ABC Family.
Because what is ABC Family but Teen Disney Channel?
Yeah.
Literally.
So true. Yeah.
They're both Disney.
Next we have Dina Reams, is played by Vicki Lewis. She's done some voice acting roles. She was in Hercules and Rugrats as minor roles. She was in Finding Nemo as Deb / Flo. It was the fish that would see her reflection.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Which I realized typing that out is Ebb and Flow. Deb and Flo. Yeah. She's had some very minor TV roles. She was in 5 episodes of Sunny with a Chance, 2 episodes of How I Met Your Mother, just for some examples. But then she came back to Disney Channel in Upside Down Magic.
Oh.
She was Miss Nightslinger, like the dean or whatever of the school in Upside Down Magic.
I feel like Den Brother really is a lot better because of her performance. I feel like
she does great.
It's very fun to watch her be a Nazi.
She knows how to be goofy enough, but not too much for a Disney Channel. Because I feel like, from what I remember in Upside Down Magic, she's good in that too. Like, she just knows what she's doing on kids' media. Next we have Rachel. So I'm getting into the girls, the other girls of the troupe. Rachel's played by Kelly Gould. In Blades of Glory, she was credited as Crying Girl, and in 1 episode of Hannah Montana, she was credited as Little Girl.
So she's a girl.
She's a girl. And she was in 3 episodes of Jessie, and then nothing since 2013. So I guess she's not acting anymore.
That happens to a decent amount of kid actors.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's by choice, but also...
Yeah. Next we have Tina. Against like surprising amount of credits, at least credits that I felt were worth noting, because a lot of these actors have like a ton of credits that I don't pay attention to, because I'm like, I don't know what that is.
They're all like short films or one episode TV shows of just law procedurals.
Yeah, but Tina, played by Haley Chu, she has a lot of credits that I felt noting. So she played in one episode of Sweet Life on Deck, she played young London, which I thought was really cute. She was in the Monsters vs. Aliens TV show. She was on the Nickelodeon show called Bella and the Bulldogs.
First off, I didn't think I realized there was a Monster vs. Aliens TV show.
I'm surprised you've never heard of it. It probably sucked.
Second of all, I didn't know there was a show called Bella and the Bulldogs.
I think I've heard of that, yeah. But it's Nickelodeon. We don't really run those circles.
Yeah. We're a Disney Channel fan.
Yeah, we're a Disney Channel family, except for Spectacular. She was in 4 episodes of Casey Undercover. She was in Kung Fu Panda: The Paws of Destiny, which
that
is a
I've
TV,
heard of.
That's a TV show. She was in Big Hero 6, the series.
So basically, all the movies that got turned into TV shows, she would jump in.
She would voice act for. Yeah, she's done a lot of voice acting. She was in Where's Waldo, which was a TV show, and Amphibia, which was on Disney Channel, and The Loud House, which I think was another Nickelodeon.
Yeah, Loud House is popular.
Yeah, so she's in that too.
Was she like a main cast in that?
I don't remember. Decent enough, like enough episodes that I felt it worth noting, so probably. All right, next we have Ursula. She's played by Kiera Muhammad. Okay, the one big thing that she's done other than Den Brother is she voices Doc McStuffins.
That's a huge thing.
It's a huge Disney Junior show.
Yeah.
Right? I see commercials. That's how I know it's big. It's because they advertise it all
Is
the
Doc
time.
McStuffins still running?
I don't know.
I feel like it's not, but...
It might not be.
Even if it's not, it was big for a while.
She is the Doc McStuffins.
So you're telling me she got like this incredible beloved role and has done nothing with it?
Yeah.
Get that bag, okay.
Next, Professor Pearson. He is played by Maurice Godin.
This is the dad?
Yeah, I just thought I'd mention his name. He really hasn't done anything big, just one episode appearances, including some on Disney, but nothing really crazy. And finally, we have Mrs. Jacklitz. She is played by Deborah Mooney. She has a ton of credits since the 70s. She was credited in Dead Poet Society as Mrs. Anderson. I've never seen Dead Poet Society, so I don't know how big of a role that is.
I feel like there's so many teachers in Dead Poet Society, I can't visualize it. I've seen it like 1.5 times. Good movie.
Yeah. She has many minor TV roles, but the biggest one, at least that I recognize, was Grey's Anatomy. She's in 12 episodes of Grey's Anatomy as Evelyn Hunt.
You're a Grey's fan. Is that big?
Big enough that I definitely know who that is. That is Owen Hunt's mother.
Gotcha. So, I don't even know who Owen Hunt is.
Fuck Owen Hunt. Basically.
This podcast's official stance on Owen Hunt?
It's not a hot take. Everyone hates Owen, and they should. He's been on the show for a long time. He's still on the show. And I wish he would leave. Because he's annoying.
Has she died on the show?
No. Evelyn Hunt hasn't. I don't think so. Did she die? I don't think so. I think she was sick.
This is such a Grey's Anatomy response.
She's not a big enough character for me to remember. I remember a plotline where she had like a very young boyfriend, though.
No.
And she's like an old lady. But, yeah. Okay. Now for my fun facts. I have 2, which I just found on like the IMDb or whatever.
That's where you find them.
This was the last movie to be aired on Disney Channel Taiwan before it ceased on New Year's Day in 2022.
That's such a funny fact. First off,
isn't that funny?
So presumably it was known. Oh, our last film that we're gonna show on Disney Channel Taiwan is Dead Brother. Who would make that choice?
I don't know.
Why?
Someone in Taiwan.
What? I'm actually obsessed with that fact. That's incredible.
Okay, apparently that was a good one.
No. Just think about it like critically for a second. This is a 2010 movie.
Yeah.
There are so many more popular films.
How much American television they show? I don't know. What's the ratio to like Taiwan originals?
Well,
to
here's
American?
the thing. You just wrote this is the last movie. They could have done Taiwanese.
Yeah.
A Taiwanese film made more sense.
I know.
If you're doing an American film, why do a random film from 2010? Did this take off in Taiwan? Was this hugely popular over there? They don't play hockey.
Why not do like High School Musical?
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's so many more popular ones.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's wild. And I also don't know. Was it played on New Year's Day or was it played like a month in advance and then they went, we'll just do shows from here on out?
I don't know. That's what it said on the Disney Wiki. Okay. Finally, a goof that was listed in the IMDb, which I found this one interesting. Usually the goofs are pretty stupid.
Mm-hmm.
But this one I was like, no way. And I looked back at the clip of the movie and it's true. When they're launching the cookie boxes from the like t-shirt cannon in the mall, the color box that they launch doesn't match the color box that is caught by the customer. So they launch a purple box and the customer catches a green box. And when they launch the green box, the customer catches the purple box.
Yeah.
Isn't that stupid?
It's just a continuity error. They happen from time to time.
I know.
They're hard to completely get out.
Yeah. But, and then there's also the goof that we caught later about what a muffin versus a cupcake is, but we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
That was listed as a goof.
Yeah, I'm like, I still don't know if it was or not. It certainly might have been.
I wonder if the original script was cupcake.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking, and they had the props and everything, but they changed to muffin or whatever. But also,
how did no one notice them the day of? We can talk about it later.
We'll talk about it when it gets there. But sometimes you have everything made and you film scenes on very separate days.
Yeah, I don't know. All right, you ready for the Disney Plus description?
Give me that DPD.
When high school hockey star Alex Pearson, Hutch Dano, gets suspended from his team after showboating during a game,
False.
His penalty is to swap skates for a beret. He must become a leader for his younger sister Emily's, Genevieve Hanless, oh my gosh, she has a first name, Bumblebee troop. Masquerading as Mrs. Zamboni, Alex helps the girls in his troop earn badges. In return, they help him earn a date with his biggest crush, who happens to be a senior Bumblebee.
Okay, I feel like for the first time in a while, this is just objectively a bad description.
This is really bad. Why they do the ellipses? That's what it's called, right? The triple dot. To act like her being a Bumblebee is like the biggest shocker plot twist. Which it is a little bit of a twist, but like not to end your description with an ellipses. Jeez.
So first off, he does not get suspended from the team for showboating during a game. It's explicitly before the game.
Yeah.
Second of all, his penalty is not to swap skates for a beret. He
never wears beret, except maybe the end.
He's only like he was suspended from hockey, and him doing the scouting is completely separate.
It's kind of coincidental. Like he just kind of ends up doing it.
Yeah.
Instead of like you have to do this now.
There's certainly no punishment. His dad never comments on it.
It's not a penalty.
Yeah.
But are they saying like hockey penalty?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Second,
Genevieve Hanless? How come when I was looking her up, it was just a G?
I think her stage name is G.
Interesting.
Yeah. It's interesting. But yeah, her name is Genevieve.
And I guess he helped them earn badges.
Yeah.
And they do help him
earn a date. They do help him, but no, they don't help him earn a date.
They help him prepare for the date.
Yes.
Yeah.
But like, the girl in his position is what gets him his date. And also, that's like not the plot. The plot is not really these two.
What is the plot then? He becomes the Den brother, and he also wants to go back to hockey and get a date.
Yeah. And they're focusing on the date part when that is the C plot.
It's important to him.
I feel like him getting on the hockey team and getting the campers into Camporee is the A and B plot in some order. That's my take.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So bad Disney Plus description. Do better.
Do better. Hire us already. Jeez.
All right. I think that means it's time to go into the movie.
Did you just say go into the movie?
You didn't let me finish. I was literally saying, you ready to jump into our movie notes?
Okay. Say it again.
You ready to jump into our movie notes?
I'm ready to how to build a better boy into the movie notes.
I feel like I did that a couple of
Fine, I'll choose a different one. I'm ready to... Hold on, let me look at the list.
This is so important.
I'm ready to under wraps 2 into the movie. Is that better?
Yes, that is better. All right. So we start outside the hockey arena. Ice hockey is the sport of choice in this movie. They love hockey.
Best DCOM sport.
Best DCOM sport. Hockey. they love their hockey DCOM.
That's an inside joke between us.
Literally just us two.
Yeah, just us two.
We tried to share it with someone else and they didn't get it.
We just thought it was funny. Like, if you're giving an award for the best sport in DCOM, it's hockey.
We get it.
We get it. It's fine.
So we get to see the Ice Hounds. That's the home team. That's where our hero Alex is on.
The Ice Hounds?
The Ice Hounds.
I guess I give a lot of shit later for Goose being like, this is the only team the only town that cares about hockey. But apparently this town only cares about hockey. They're called the Ice Hounds. I
mean, there's also the thing, sometimes schools do specific names for specific teams.
So maybe they're just the Hounds, but the hockey team is the Ice Hounds.
Yeah, that's completely possible. Ice Hounds, kind of a cool name. They got a cool logo. Their color is purple. This is all wins.
Yeah.
Well, actually, no. They're not purple. The opponent's purple.
I thought they're purple.
Blue, I'm pretty sure.
I thought they were purple.
I feel like we need to look this up.
Den brother. Images.
Leave that in.
Yeah, they're blue. You're right.
Yeah, but their opponents is purple. It's pretty cool.
Well, I wish they were purple.
Yeah. So the Ice Hounds are down 4-2, and this is the third period. Hockey only has 3 periods for those not in the know. And the announcer. First off, every DCOM sports movie has an announcer during the game.
That's so funny.
And it's really funny because that does not exist in real life.
No.
It doesn't.
No.
But literally everyone does.
Yeah.
No one knows how to do like, okay, we need to commentate this sport because people watching this may not know what these sports are like.
And they want the drama of like, the main character has the puck. Yeah.
So basically this announcer, I did not write much about everything he says because pretty much every line he says in this movie is just, oh my god, Alex is the best hockey player ever.
Oh my god, look at Alex. What would the team be without him?
He's like, why is he on the bench? And then Alex goes and he's like, oh my god, we're gonna win now.
Because Alex is out here.
And the whole crowd is holding up signs of the Ice Hounds logo and then they flip it. Yeah. And it says, Alex, you dog.
Alex, you dog, because they're the Hounds.
Yeah.
Also, where is Matisse going, Alex? But
well, that's in Den Brother 3.
Oh, you got a point there.
Yeah.
They do have the signs ready to go, though.
Yeah. That's actually what inspired High School Musical 3. So Alex does some cool spin moves, tricks, and stuff. He's really good at this, and he shoots and scores. He gets a hat trick, but the team's still down 3-4.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they go and huddle up before the puck drop. There's like a couple minutes left or something. Uh-huh. And his teammate, Goose, who's also his best friend, kind of.
His last name's Gustavus, right?
Gustavo. Yeah.
So
it's just Goose. Or maybe his first name is Goose and his last name is Gustavo.
When I was looking up, his first name's like Andrew or something.
Oh, that's nice.
I don't remember. I didn't write it down because he only goes by Goose in the movie.
Yeah, it is exclusively Goose.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's like, I want to do the pressure offense. And Alex is like, no, I got this. And he just skates him to the ice. And then they go and get ready. And Goose has the puck. And Alex fights him for the puck. And
yeah. This is so stupid. Alex literally is like, give me the puck. And starts bumping into Goose.
Yeah.
What?
Well,
and they act like it's Goose's fault.
Well, it's because everyone's like, give Alex the puck. He's literally scored 3 goals and is the only good player on the team.
The coach literally, like, specifically said, give the puck to Alex.
We should talk about how the coach is a huge enabler and he's a problem.
He just wants to win. no matter what. If that means giving the puck to Alex every time, so be it.
But he also just doesn't have the creativity to see how to use Alex in a better way.
Yeah, like Goose does.
Yeah, like Goose does. Goose knows that Alex is the best player on the team.
Yeah. So, like, yeah, Goose has the puck, and Alex just starts checking his own freaking teammate. Yeah,
so they're fighting for the pucks, and then they both trip and fall. The other team takes the puck and scores the winning goal. The announcer calls it the winning goal. And we get referred to this multiple times later in the movie as the winning goal. And it really irks me a little bit. The whole action on the ice, as not a real hockey fan for myself, looks completely fine. Mm-hmm. But calling this a winning goal is stupid. It puts them up 5-3 as time expires. They were already winning. This is not a winning goal. I know,
it's not a winning goal. It, like, ends the game, but the game would have been over anyway.
He could have just skated around in a circle and the game would have been over.
Yeah. And, like, yeah, sure, the goal seals it, but it doesn't make a difference, win or lose. It's not a winning goal.
Yeah.
I agree. The announcer sucks. And they do refer to it later again as the winning goal.
Yeah. So Alex looks over at the crowd as the other team is celebrating, and he sees Matisse in the crowd. Oh my god. Matisse! Yeah. All right. So after the hockey game in the locker room, Goose is pissed about the game, and Alex is like, it's fine. Whatever.
Yeah, Alex is like, there's more to hockey than just winning and losing. I got a hat trick.
Yeah. He's like, I did great. And also, our team's going to be like a 500 team anyways.
What does that mean?
You're like, every win you get a loss. Every loss you get a win. 500 average winning percentage.
So like they're 50-50.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, he's like, but my play has me have a chance to be on the all-star team. So like, I'm gonna try and do that. And he's so excited about this. This is his only desire in life, really.
He wants to be on the high school all-star team.
Yeah. So cool. So fun. I don't know. And Goose is like, well, I wish you could think about the Ice Hounds. We want to win and stuff. Also, you want to come over for video games? And Alex is like, oh, I'd love to do that, but I gotta go, like, watch my sister. But I really want to. Should I, like, cancel and just ditch her? And Goose is like, go see your sister.
Yeah, Goose is like, no.
But Alex does offer up that his sister... This movie, for a while, is trying to teach, like, make you think that Alex is an asshole who's going to be reformed. And they honestly, for the most part, don't show him being an asshole enough.
Yeah, because he still did remember...
And he didn't ditch her.
He didn't ditch her. He, like, makes jokes about ditching her, but I feel like he was never actually going to do it.
No, I don't think so.
Because he does care about his sister. Like, that's never a question.
Yeah.
Sometimes his own motives get in the way, but he genuinely cares for her.
All right. So... Alex bikes home, and while he bikes home, he bikes right through Mrs. Janowitz's flowers. I put a different name every single time because I didn't remember it, and I'm not going to change it. Do you know what the actual one is?
Yeah.
No, of course not. He doesn't seem that remorseful. It's like one of the only bad things we actually see him do for a while.
He ran over to Flower.
Back at home, Alex's sister is currently being watched by his dad, and his dad's like, "You're late. Why don't you come
You're
home?"
late. And then the dad starts packing up his lunch and stuff. He's like, "I'm gonna be late for
I'm a professor. Lecture. I have to do all of the profession."
And like, dude, why wouldn't you be ready to walk out the door if he's really that late?
I don't know.
I hate the dad.
the dad is not great.
He's not great. He's not the worst.
No, definitely not the worst. But he's also just kind of there, and also more of the time kind of not there. Yeah. He's like, you should have been home earlier, and it's like, I was at a game. Why don't you ever come to my games, Dad?
Yeah, Dad, I had a game.
I had a hat trick.
He scored the only points for his team.
Mm-hmm. You gotta stay here with Emily. Also, there's like a cleaning lady named Ingrid who's just a little wacky character you see like 3 scenes of.
Yeah, she's just really
just
old.
To be like an adult in the room, technically.
Yeah, even though they're like, they make jokes that like she's not really coherent.
Yeah. So he's like, okay, you got to pick up Emily at our Bumblebees meeting tomorrow at 4. And beyond that, just chill out, have fun. So Emily and Alex go chill on the couch, but they start arguing over their TV shows.
Yeah, Alex wants to watch extreme sports.
It's a really boring, like, dirt bike race is what he has on. But it's better than what Emily wants, which is just the most subdued Coco Melon you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah, it's, like, less visually interesting than Coco Melon.
And we should mention, Emily's, like, 11.
Yeah, she is not that young.
Yeah. So it's weird. But they fight over that. Emily gives literal, like, puppy dog eyes and gets Alex to change the channel to it. Mm-hmm. That's what happens.
Yeah, and he gives in.
So the next day at school, Alex goes and picks up his sister. On time, completely fine. This is wild. Again, this is such a setup for, like, he forgot it, but no.
No, he is responsible enough to take care of her throughout the whole movie.
It's way more human.
Yeah. I feel like if they wanted to make Alex a bigger asshole, they should have just done it.
Yeah.
I don't buy that he's that much of an asshole. And the movie wants you to think he is. And, like, there's a couple things where it's like, oh, yeah, he's a little bit of an asshole. But overall, I'm like, he's just kind of a cocky, chill guy that cares about his sister.
Mm-hmm. So Alex finds out that the Bumblebees are disbanding. Their troop is going
kaput. Their den mother, who's the mother of one of the leaders.
Of Abigail, I believe.
Yeah, Abigail. Yeah, they're moving. So she can't be their den mother anymore. And she's like, I tried to find a new den mother for you guys, but I couldn't find one.
So tough luck. Get roasted. Goodbye.
Yeah. And so what's going to happen is they're going to have to split up and all join different troops.
And they all don't like that because, Emily, who's our main girl, is like, oh, but Abigail, Ursula, and Tina, me, we all formed this troop because we're all best friends. And
Rachel's like, what about me?
Oh, yeah. Rachel's like sort of our friend too, I guess. It's such a great introduction to Rachel where it's just they're like, oh my god, we're all best friends except Rachel. We just tolerate her.
We just tolerate Rachel. It's so funny, actually.
Yeah, it's pretty good. So Alex goes and talks to the girls because he's like, this is kind of crazy. He's like, hey, y'all gonna be fine. You're gonna all just work on your sad faces and guilt trip one of your mothers to go and do it.
Yeah, but a couple of them are like, but my mother won't be able to. So.
Yeah, mine's a full-time, like, truck driver.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, well, you just got to work on your sad face. Everyone just copy Rachel. She's doing a really good sad face. And Rachel's like, I'm not doing one.
Freaking Rachel. This is the most they roast Rachel. I feel like after this, she's
they still don't like her, which is funny.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like they embrace her after this and let her be herself.
They do let her be herself, but also they do still think she's on the bottom of the totem pole, which is fun to me. Yeah. And they're like, even if we get another mother in time, we still won't have one in time to qualify for the Camporee.
Camporee.
Aw. What is Camporee, you may ask?
It's like a big party.
It seems like just a big party. It's nothing beyond that.
Yeah, they show it at the end of the movie, so I guess we'll find out.
Yeah. So the original mother is just like, okay, I just got off the phone. I gotta leave right now. Y'all, Alex, you're watching the kids. Goodbye.
She leaves them there with Alex. This is a
crime.
It has to be, right?
She is a chaperone. Alex is not. And I know he's a brother of someone there, but like, this is bad.
They allow for junior helpers.
Yeah. They force Alex to watch the kids, which is just, it's wrong.
Yeah.
And the girls convince Alex to be the den mother for the day. So good for him for doing it, but again, he could totally just call the police right now and get the original den mother, like, in trouble.
Would she get in trouble?
She's a chaperone who ditched children she was legally protecting.
I guess so.
All right. So now they have their whole den meeting where they all sit around in a circle and hold a talking flower. And if you don't hold the sunflower to talk, you can't talk.
Mm-hmm.
And
Alex is like, fuck this flower.
Yeah. He's like, this is stupid. You can wear whatever you want. We don't need a flower to talk, because they were also talking about, excuse me, Emily's not in the dress code. She's always wearing like a princess tiara.
Yeah, and Alex is like, I don't care what she's wearing, because she's my sister and she can wear whatever she wants.
Yeah. So they're like, he's like, what do you guys normally do in these meetings? And they're like, well, what we could do right now is do a go for it. That's where we go out and try something new.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I could do something I want to do.
Yeah. So he takes them to a public hockey rink. I don't know where he got them all their ice hockey gear, but
they're not really wearing standard hocky gear.
But they all have skates?
Yeah, they all have skates. You can probably rent skates there. And one of them has like a life vest on. They're wearing like very clunky padding.
Yeah. And he forces them to play hockey, and they're all pretty mediocre at it, but they're all probably trying it out for the first time. They're going for it. See, it's kind of healthy, fine. Yeah. They shoot into a cardboard box as like the net, and they all just fall over.
Yeah, they put Tina as the goalkeeper, and she's the smallest one.
Yeah.
And they all just fall over.
Yeah, the girls get up, and they're like, this isn't fun. What's so fun about this? And I was like, what? How are you not having fun? Nothing could be more fun than being a great hockey player. Suddenly, skating up behind him is Titus, the star player of the evil team, who says, how would you know, dork? And just skates around him.
The most stereotypical DCOM bully you could ever imagine.
They're trying to recapture the Brink magic.
They really are.
And honestly, they really get a little bit of it. I love the tension between them, especially the fact that Titus is not really a character. He's in like 3 scenes total.
Yeah.
From the way this movie starts, you'd think he is a bigger deal.
Yeah, Brink, if Val, was that his name?
Val's his
name. Like, wasn't actually a main character.
No.
It's
pretty. But I love the tension around that. He's just like skating around with his gooms, and Titus like skates away, and he winks at him, and that gets Titus and Alex to actually just start fighting each other, full on fighting.
Oh yeah, they like start punching each other.
Yeah.
Wait, what started that? They just were talking shit.
They're just talking shit.
Oh yeah, Titus winked.
Titus winked at him. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
So,
Hockey
yeah, you
players,
hear a
right?
punch, and the girls all go, ooh!
Ooh, and then it cuts to Alex having a raw steak on his face. And it
unwrapped raw steak on his face.
And it doesn't even look frozen. Like, it looks room temperature raw steak on his face.
Yeah. So he's like, well, my face got punched. That wasn't fun. And Emily and him talk. And Emily's like, hey, if our mom was still alive, do you think she would take me to the meetings? And he's like, of course. Just a quick little exposition dump.
Yeah, their mom is dead. How sad.
All right. The next day at school, we see Goose and Alex talking at their lockers, and Alex is clearly staring off directly at Matisse.
Yeah, as Goose is trying to have a conversation, Alex is just staring off in the distance.
And Goose says, why her? And I was like, oh my god, you're like a psychic detective about the girl he's been staring directly at.
He's staring right at her, basically drooling, and Goose is like, you're staring at her. And he's like, how the fuck did you
know? He's like, dude, I don't get what you see in Matisse. Like, you are amazing at hockey in literally the one town in the world that cares about hockey. That's like basically a direct quote. Kind of wild. I know.
And it makes me mad because I'm like, other towns like hockey.
But none of them like the ice towns.
Apparently that's true. And I like take back my words about the whole movie about making fun of that line of like, oh, it's the only team that likes hockey. I do believe they like hockey the most. And also the thing Goose is mad about is like Alex could have any girl, but he wants Matisse.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a weird thing. Like, Goose is whiny the whole movie.
Yeah.
And you're supposed to be, like, rooting for Goose and rooting against Alex. And I just disagree. I'm rooting for Alex the whole time.
I'll go back to the Goose is like, oh, you should worry about the team, trying to get our team to win. In high school sports, you should be selfish. It's rude to say, but anything that could potentially get you into a college or pro career in the sport.
Yeah.
you want to
You should
showcase
do it.
yourself.
Who the fuck cares about hockey and high school? Sorry, not hockey. Who the fuck cares about
Well, everyone in this town does.
Who the fuck cares about your high school career? This is what the Wildcats in High School Musical 2 would have you believe as well. But they did Troy Bolton so dirty, and now they're doing Alex Pearson dirty.
Yeah. Remember his name. So, yeah, he says basically, why don't you go get an easy date with a ton of hot girls who would just immediately go on a date with you?
Matisse is just so hot.
She's special. She's not like the other girls.
Because she doesn't like me.
Yeah. And so he goes up to talk to Matisse, and she ridiculizes him.
Ridiculizes? Ridicules?
Ridiculizes.
It's ridicules.
Yeah.
I don't think ridiculize is a real word. It's just ridicule.
I feel like I'm conjugating it when I'm in a way I'm not supposed to.
Google doesn't think it's real either. Google.
Well, I could have just spelt it correctly.
Ridiculizes.
Please, you can just play whatever I said in those last 10 seconds back. I just went.
Wait, ridiculize. It's with a Z.
That would make sense.
Third person singular simple present ridiculizes. Present participle ridiculizing.
Yeah, I think ridiculizes is actually a word. Thank you.
You just spelled it wrong.
Yeah.
But I fully thought it just wasn't a word. Because you
I think
just
ridicules
say
would work in this as well. But ridiculizes also works. They just mean very slightly different things.
It just feels like a made up word. Sorry for ridiculizing you.
So, yeah. Matisse ridiculizes Alex over trying to steal Goose's puck, and he's like, "Oh my god, you let the winning goal score." I see you. You never give Goose a chance on the ice, and he's like, "Hey, but you want to go out with me?"
Yeah, he's like, "Whatever."
No.
Yeah, what he says is checking in hockey is a lot like aloha. It means good and bad.
It means hello and goodbye.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he was just checking him to say hello.
And goodbye. Well, I think he uses like aloha has like two different meanings, and so does checking. Yeah, it's like aloha. And then she just knocks him on his ass. Says
aloha and leaves.
And then she turns back and says, "By the way, it's aloha as in goodbye." Because she really had to clarify. She should have just said aloha. Like, the audience is smart enough to get that, but maybe they're not.
All right. So now he's going to talk to Goose about how his asking for a date went. Do you think he, A, tells Goose, "Aw, man, I think you're right. I should go ask another girl out who's easier to get." B, tells Goose, "I got to change stuff about my personality. That's clearly why she doesn't like me." Mm-hmm. Or C, says, "I need a hot car in order to get her. That's the only issue I have."
I'm going to guess B, he's going to change his personality.
He just wants that hot car.
He's like, "Oh, the car." Okay, because during their conversation, she's like, "That's why you let Goose drive you around," or something. Like, you don't have a car. And it's very offhand, like, not really related to what they're talking about. But the one thing Alex took away from the whole exchange was, if I get a car, then she'll date me.
He has this positive attitude towards most things.
He's just nice. A little bit of an airhead sometimes.
Yeah. All right, so now it's at the next hockey game, and like the lights are down and everyone's getting ready for Alex's big entrance into the game. And the coach is like, "Oh, come on, Alex, you gotta be here. You gotta make it in time. It's gonna be cool." And the ref comes over and talks to him. Is like, "Hey, I gotta start this game soon. If he doesn't show up, he doesn't show up." Yeah,
so they're like waiting to start the game until Alex shows up because the coach refuses to start anyone that's not Alex.
Yeah. So Alex jumps through some paper.
Yeah, like the lights go down and they're like, "Get ready for Alex." He jumps through the big banner.
Woo! And on his jersey is Moses Roses. Guess what? He got a sponsorship. Not the team.
He got a sponsor just for himself.
Yep.
To make money. To buy a car. So that Matisse will date him. This all makes sense. He just has stickers. And then they start, like, launching t-shirts, don't they?
Yeah, they have, like, t-shirt cannons.
For Moses Roses, specifically.
Yeah. They have crazy. And I don't know if these are t-shirt cannons that the school has or if it's just Moses Roses let him have.
Why would the flower shop have t-shirt cannons?
I don't know. How much does a t-shirt cannon cost?
Maybe
I'm going to look it up on Amazon. Give me your best guess.
$50. Maybe Alex bought his own t-shirt guns because they use them later in the movie.
The first t-shirt cannon that I see is $800.
Shut the fuck up. So you can't just casually buy a t-shirt cannon.
Nope.
They're probably dangerous too. They launch really far.
Well, luckily they're not going to like fire cookies out of them or anything. All right. So the coach is actually, for once, mad at Alex. He's like, this whole pizzazz, everything here, it's too much.
I feel like, would he even be that mad though, knowing what we know about the coach?
Well, knowing what the coach knows about the ref.
That's true. So then the ref comes over and he's like, you gotta suspend this
guy.
So
he says either you're suspending the whole team or you're suspending Alex. As that seems crazy.
Why does the ref have this power?
He's certainly, and it runs in the family, the dictatorial nature.
Like, the ref has the ability to say you have to either suspend one player or your whole team is suspended. What league is this? High school league?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how this one ref owns everything. How is there one ref in this entire league? I don't know. We also learn later he's the coach of the All-Star team.
Yeah.
And like, how is he doing all of this? Well, also that's not his main job.
I don't know.
Yeah. But whatever. So basically Alex is getting suspended. Oh no. So we cut to the home life where the dad is just pissed about the suspension, and Alex is like, I know, it's so rude. Yeah. Like, how could they do this to me?
The dad says, I'm very disappointed. And Alex is like, I know, I can't believe they suspended me. He's like, no, I'm not disappointed that you're suspended, because I'm disappointed that you, like, misbehaved and got suspended.
Yeah.
So
you're just kind of being an ass about everything.
Yeah.
All right. You're going to have to do all of these chores. Maybe after all that, like, if you get all these chores done and you pay for the insurance, I can get you a car. But, like, come on. Behave.
Yeah, behave. So he, like, gives him the whole list that's, like, redo the yard and
so a bunch of stuff within all of that.
The garage or something.
Yeah. Suddenly, Emily steals away Alex, and he's like, hey, come out here and just wave at the parents. Yeah. You need to know someone's here as someone's being dropped off. Has gotta look the part. So he's like, okay, I'll do that. And then he just goes in his room and plays some video games.
Yeah, and then Emily comes in and she's like, aren't you supposed to be doing chores?
And he's like, no, you're supposed to be, don't shut up. And he eventually gets dragged out to be meeting with the girls for their
Emily's like,
Bumblebee meeting.
You have to take us to the community center. And he's like, okay.
And he's like, what? No, I don't want to do that.
How do they get there?
They walk.
I wonder if they're just not far.
Yeah. But basically, he thinks the whole idea is stupid until Rachel mentions that it's a basket weaving contest or basket decorating contest. That Matisse is going to be there because she's with another troupe.
Yeah, she's a junior.
And Alex is like, boing.
Boing, say less.
Yeah. So he goes for it. They do a go for it. They're going to go do basket decorating. Decor. So at the community center, Matisse is like, oh my god, this is a whole new side to Alex I've never seen before. He's helping out.
Yeah, and he's like, oh, haha, yeah, I'm here. Go ahead and make fun of me. And she's like, no, it's great.
Oh my god, this is so wholesome. He's playing it up.
Yeah.
He's getting the brownie points. But whatever. I don't care if it's like for the wrong reasons. He's doing the right things.
Yeah. He's helping his sister and her friend.
Yeah. But as they're talking about it, we meet Dina, who is the leader of the whole Bumblebees, whatever region they're in, troop, like in full.
She's the head bitch.
Yeah, emphasis on bitch. She is
Bumblebee Hitler.
She is a Nazi. She is very rigid about, you got to do this, this, and this. Anyone who disobeys my orders is dead to me.
Yeah.
It is very much a dictatorship. Mm-hmm. And again, I think it's great. It's pretty funny. It's a good drama throughout the whole film because of it. So she's like, well, everyone's got to do the basket decorating the exact same way. We're going to do this exact method.
Right, because she criticizes, what's her squad? It's like 57.
57.
Yeah, Troop 57. She's like, why your baskets look so fucking weird? And it's just like, this one's a princess basket, and this one's a vampire basket, because Rachel loves vampire.
Yeah, she says, don't do that, do it exactly as we want
and
it.
Alex is like, whatever.
So, meanwhile, like, Matisse is checking in on the basket decorating. It's like, man, Dina's not going to like what you guys are doing. And Alex says, you know what will probably make this all better? Let me call Moses Roses and be like, hey, can you deliver me some baskets?
Yeah, you guys do baskets, right? What? And yep. I don't think he pays for it.
Well, he got the sponsorship, and that may have been an ironclad contract.
Maybe instead of giving him money, they give him a basket.
Yeah. So I got a note about this, but I'm going to save it till the end of the scene. I just want to put a note down. So Alex orders the baskets, and he eventually receives them, gets them delivered, and he just gives the guy a high five instead of a tip.
Yeah.
It's kind of rude, but also like, whatever. He doesn't have money on him. I'm okay with it. And this is where the whole scene happens, where Dina comes and roasts Troop 57's baskets. And Alex is like, hey, I like these baskets. Notably, these baskets are still all the kids' ones. These are not the paid for baskets.
I know. It really doesn't look different from the other baskets. Like, you have some paper taped on to look like flowers and hearts. And I don't get why she's like, they all need to look the same.
Yeah.
Why?
We don't want to make a basket and sell them that are different than what we're making. Like, everything we sell has to be the same.
They're like fundraiser baskets or something, right? Why is everything they do for funds?
I don't know. The scouting is underfunded.
Is this all just a scheme to make money? You're saying it's underfunded?
I mean, like in real life. They do fundraisers all the time in real life.
Just to pay for what? Materials?
The time, the labor.
Maybe like the uniform.
The spaces that they're renting out and utilizing.
So. Alright, you've convinced me that they do need money and it's not a scam.
So she's like, oh, this is obviously a clear lack of leadership in the troop. By the way, he's like, wait a minute. We're Troop 57. This is representing us. And he's like, hey, she's like, there's no such thing as Troop 57. With Miss Moffat gone, you do not exist.
Yeah, she's like,
you're done.
Fucking troop's over. Your ass is mine.
I'm not going to argue with you because I'm right.
Yeah.
And this is where Alex is like, well, wait, you just assume we don't have a den mother? Excuse me, we do. Her name is Mrs. Zamboni.
Mrs. Zamboni.
And she has strep throat. That's why I'm here as a junior helper. But otherwise, it won't happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she just buys it. She's like, oh, this random woman I've never heard of named Mrs. Zamboni, who is none of these girls' parent or guardian. Sure. She is the den mother. That checks out.
Feels like that's something that would have to be checked on before being able to say.
Do they not have to fill out any fucking forms?
This seems scary.
That shouldn't be allowed. Also, Alex doesn't have to fill out any forms to be a junior helper?
Well, he is an older sibling.
I know, but I feel like you should have to do something.
Yeah.
To be in charge of watching these little girls.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Be responsible for them. You should at least learn CPR or something, you know? Like, jeez Louise.
So Dina just says, I'm looking forward to meeting her at the next group meeting. And Alex, I'm on to you, and just gives him the eyes, like the I'm looking at you eyes.
The eyes.
Matisse is like, wow, that was a scary interaction. What were you doing? Now it's like, I had to do something. These girls want a troop and everything. And then he shows Matisse the baskets that he bought.
Yeah, the one basket he bought. And he's like, is this basket cool?
And Matisse is like, oh my god, this is like amazing. Wow.
Wow, this is like the best basket ever.
And she just leaves. We take this at face value, never goes away. What lesson are we learning here? That it's okay to buy out like the work that you were doing and that works? I
don't know.
It's weird that this never gets brought up again.
It's very weird and it's not needed. It's really not.
And it's just illogical.
And what it is just a basket that has some like iridescent wrapping around it.
Meanwhile, Troop 57 talks with Alex and you're like, hey, Miss Zamboni isn't real. What's going on? He's like, well, yeah. That's just a fake person until we find someone to actually take it. But until that happens, I'll be your dead mother. And everyone goes, yay! And we cut to commercial break.
Dead brother.
Well, I don't think they say that yet.
No, they don't.
Yeah. This movie's like gender roles.
Get it? Like a dead mother, but he's a brother.
Yeah. So we start the next scene at the coach, whose name is apparently Greg. He's at a sporting goods shop, and he's talking with Alex. And Alex was like, hey, you gotta put me back on the team.
And he said, hey, I'm not coaching this shop.
I'm Greg. And Greg says, I'm not gonna reinstate you. You know why? The person who decides all this, the unilateral only guy here, the ref.
The ref? Yeah. He's the coach of the team, and also he has a competing flower shop.
He's the only other florist in the city.
In the town.
So he probably didn't like it when you sponsored his sole rival.
Yeah. So what we learned is that it's personal.
Yeah. You're suspended 2 weeks at a minimum.
But then later they mentioned winning 4 games. Do they have more than 1 game a week?
They definitely could.
Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Alright.
I don't know the hockey schedule, but like
I guess
pro hockey you play like 3 games a week.
I know, this is high school hockey though. If you're playing multiple games
baseball,
a week,
I played multiple games a week. And I know baseball's easier on your body, but
when do you practice? If you're playing multiple games a week, when do you practice? Is it every day?
Every day.
Yeah. I guess I didn't play a high school sport, so.
Yeah. So yeah, he also mentions how the ref is the all-star coach because this ref is everything. Meanwhile, Matisse walks into the shop because she has to buy some stuff for Camporee. So Alex walks on over and is like, I'm also here to buy stuff for Camporee.
Oh my gosh, yeah, why else would we be here? Haha. See, I'm cool now, Matisse.
And they talk with each other and Alex is like, hey, I want to ask you something.
And she's like
yes.
Yes, the answer is yes.
I know exactly what you're thinking.
I can give you a ride to, what's it called?
It was like the officials meeting or whatever.
Yeah, I can give you a ride to the meeting. That's what you were gonna ask, right?
And he's like, yes.
Yeah, it's because he doesn't have a car. Yeah. She's like, I know you don't have a car, so yes, I'll give you a ride to the meeting. And he's like, yes, absolutely. Which he should say yes in that instance because he was gonna ask her on a date. So you don't have a date, but you're gonna spend time with her.
Also, this ends up being a date.
It does end up being a date, kind of.
The kids all say it is.
They think it is.
And they're right.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll talk about that later.
And then Matisse leaves, and Alex knocks over a big pyramid of water bottles, which is actually funny.
It's just a little bit of slapstick.
Yeah, I feel like they pulled it off right, and they didn't linger on it too long.
It's just like a very random moment. It's like, and he has this funny reaction where he's just like,
he just freezes. It's really funny.
Yeah. So, now we cut back to the bees. All of Troop 57. They're like, hey, Alex, you need to host the meeting for us again because we don't have anyone. You're our
dead brother.
He's like, oh, but I wanted to go play basketball. And the dad's like, no, you got to stay with the kids. can't play basketball. And he's like, but basketball. Yeah. So he's like, the dad's like, well, you got all these chores to do anyways. Don't forget you're like kind of in trouble.
Yeah, so you have to do this giant list of chores and watch the girls. I don't know how he's expected.
I think it was not supposed to do all of the chores. I think it was do some of them. So,
but even like, how do you even do one chore while you're watching the girls? Like, it's my question.
Well, he figures it out. He says, hey girls, let's do another go for it. And you know what we're going to try? Home improvement. He's like, we're going to go for it. We're going to go do chores and stuff. And it's going to be amazing. And he gets all the kids to do the chores and make the yard for them. And it's great and wonderful. And like, yeah, he gets them all to do it because Tina like said, oh, that sounds fun. And everyone's like, Tina doesn't talk. We must do it. Meanwhile, while that's happening, Miss Jankowitz comes by and sees that Alex is using them all for free labor. And she just thinks to herself, that's probably not good, but does nothing about it.
Yeah, I mean, what is she supposed to do about it?
Yeah. So the dad comes home that night and is just floored about how much got done. He's like, wow, you really went above and beyond here, son.
Yeah, it looks amazing.
Yeah. And then he's like, where are the girls? And like, oh, they're probably all in the living room just hanging out.
Yeah, and we're like, isn't Alex in the living room right now? They have a different living room off of this living room.
Yeah. He opens the door and looks at them, and they are all just pooped. They're all sleeping on the couch.
They're so tired.
Surprised no parents have picked them up. It's pretty late.
I know. Maybe it's like 6 p.m. It gets dark at 6 p.m.
Yeah, I guess it's a winter movie, so.
Yeah.
So the next day, the dad just takes Alex out, puts his hand above his eyes, and says, all right, guess what you're getting? A new car! Wow! Except not new. It's very old and extremely out of shape. It doesn't even run.
Nope, you get to build it and repair it. You should have seen the car I was given. It was worse.
Yeah.
And I built it, and it was the best thing ever. And Alex is like,
this sucks. There's literally birds nesting in here.
Yeah, they open the hood and there's pigeons in there.
And
How much was this car? $50?
The dad says, hey, obviously you haven't done enough. I didn't give you enough chores last time, so here's a new, longer list of chores to do.
Which I was so mad at first when he's like, here's the keys to your new car. I'm like, 1 day of chores and you're going to give him a car? Are you kidding me?
But it's a broken down
But then
car.
it ended up being a non-functional car and more chores. So I'm like, you know what? All right.
It's simultaneously like a good choice, but also such an ass move.
It really is.
Yeah. So Alex is like, well, I guess I'll just do it again. We'll run it back. So it's another meeting with the girls. They just are kind of here at whatever it's
they're
convenient
like,
now.
We don't want to do more chores. We want to go out and get badges, like a build a fire badge.
And Alex is like, well, that one would take a lot of time. What if you guys just do my chores for me again, and I'll just say you get badges?
Right, okay, that's not what he says. He doesn't tell them, do my chores and I'll give you badges. He's tricking them. He says, you could go out to the campsite and do the fire, but we have to drive there and take a long time. You could get like 5 badges during that time instead. And they're like, oh, and he's like, yeah, come out here. We're going to build a car. And they're like, okay. So now they're doing all of the chores. They're doing the car. They're painting the garage. For some reason, Emily's delivering papers on like a big trike. The big wheel?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Seems kind of inefficient.
What the heck?
Just supposed to do a paper route.
Why is that a chore?
I don't know.
But
this is pretty dumb.
While they're doing this, Alex is just making little badges with some markers.
He's decorating them. It's a fun little hexagon.
I guess instead of him doing the labor, he gets to have a little arts and craft project.
Yeah. Meanwhile, as they're building the car, suddenly Dina walks around.
Not Dina.
Not Dina. Yeah, that's the Nazi, if you didn't remember.
Mm.
Yeah. and the girls see her and go, uh-oh. They're going to realize Mrs. Zamboni doesn't exist. All right, Rachel, go install her. And the rest of us, we're going to go make a disguise, and we're going to figure out how to not have this be caught. Because we all want to keep operating as a troupe, but also we do not have a dead mother.
Yeah, so they start mixing up some ketchup and mayo, I believe.
Pretty disgusting.
It's pretty nasty.
They call it a salad dressing, but also, is that salad dressing?
No, that's disgusting. Okay, I can't say I haven't had ketchup and mayo together, because on a burger, I've put ketchup and mayo on a burger. But having a whole bowl of it, or treating it like a dressing, but with lettuce? Ew.
So after she gets by Rachel, who just said, like, you have to tell us the password.
Yeah,
and Dina stalls for a while from that.
Does she ever figure out the password?
It was that there is no password.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's pretty stupid. All right.
Yeah, but it worked.
It worked.
They act like they're giving a spa day to Mrs. Zamboni.
Right.
Who is Alex?
Who's Alex? They put the ketchup mayo on his face and some cucumbers on the eyes.
And he talks in a, oh, I'm Mrs. Zamboni voice.
Oh, so lovely to see you, Dina.
Oh, they're really just trying to do Mrs. Doubtfire in a lot of ways.
But worse.
But without, like, the extent of the gimmick that makes Miss Doubtfire work. You've seen Miss Doubtfire?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, it was a while ago, but I did watch it, and I remember liking it.
And it's like, I'm Edna Mae Zamboni, and also I'm wearing salad dressing as a facial for a spa day. I have this really bad cough. Oh, but I guess I don't know if I'm going to be able to make the leadership summit. I'll send Alex instead. He's a very cute
hunky boy.
Hunky boy who would make a great boyfriend. In fact, Matisse is giving him a ride. Oh my god.
And Emily kind of looks like, oh my god.
Yeah. So then Dina leaves and tells Edna Mae Zamboni, oh, watch out for Alex. He's a sneaky one. I don't trust him. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But she fully believes that Miss Zamboni is a person.
So basically Dina's dumb. Because it feels like really it's pretty stupid. Obviously Alex.
Like, where the fuck did this woman come from? Where did this woman come from? Miss Zamboni? It's small town. Maybe it's not that small of a town. Feels like a small town.
Well, it's only the part of the town that cares about hockey is all we see.
That's the whole freaking thing.
So after she leaves, Alex and Emily like start talking, and I think Emily like hits him. She's
like, why didn't you tell me you had a date? And he's like, it's not a date. She's like, yeah, it is.
You're spending alone time with a girl. It's a date.
It's a date.
Hey guys, we gotta go help Alex get ready for his date. So they go and give Alex a makeover because you gotta have a makeover scene. And they're very much like, hey, when you're at the date, all you gotta do is talk about her.
Yes, don't talk about yourself because it's a known thing that Alex is selfish. And they get some hair stuff and they're like, vampire hair's in, and they just make it all like spiky and messy because that's vampire hair. Mm-hmm. This came out around when Twilight was big, so.
You can really feel the cultural impact of Twilight.
Oh, because so much of like kids media is like vampires. Oh,
it's wild because a lot of the cultural impact Twilight has is just the fact that it was popular rather than anything about the plot. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
And the fact that it was popular to hate on.
Yeah. And also, like vampire romance. And a lot of it is making fun of it, but also a lot of media was like, what if we also did vampire romance?
Yeah. It's just, I'm not one to hate on media relentlessly, and I have not ever given the Twilight films a chance. I don't think I will.
Why not?
Maybe someday. But it is very funny to me, again, how culturally important that is, while the actual contents of Twilight is not actually that important.
Yeah.
Like even
it's less so important.
Yeah. All right. Beyond that, they are like, okay, we got to figure out what shirt he's gonna wear. Are we gonna wear this biker shirt that Rachel picked out?
Rachel's the only one that
hand. They're doing a vote, or we put on this cute boy shirt, and everybody else raises their hand.
Yeah,
for that one.
and then except for Alex, and he goes, do I get a vote? And they say, no. Cute boy shirt it is.
See, Rachel actually got pushed up the pecking order because Alex is on the bottom.
True. Rachel
That's why it doesn't feel like she's getting hated. This is purely a Rachel hate scene. They said, we'll put it to a vote. But everyone vote against Rachel.
But it wasn't like, Rachel, your idea is stupid. Like, they did vote. Like, I feel like they're letting Rachel be Rachel.
Yeah.
And I feel like she's not being that, like, ostracized. Not the way that she was at the beginning of the movie.
And they say, okay, we're going to go you're going to go and go on your date now. But we have a little surprise for you. And they force him out the front door and, oh my God, his car, which is working because of all the work they did on it.
Yeah. Apparently they fixed it in like a day.
Well, it's been multiple days since.
Has it?
I think so. I think it's implied that it was like multiple meetings that they were doing all this stuff.
Sure.
Because Rachel says, yeah, my dad owns a custom paint shop. That's how we got it painted. Yeah. There's no way all of that happened in a day.
Yeah, and they painted it yellow.
Yellow and black, like a bumblebee.
Like a bumblebee. Yeah, ends up being a cute
little car. They leave him to go on his date, and he's just kind of like floored at the whole process. He's like, wow, this is kind of crazy. Suddenly, Mrs. Gibbets walks up behind him, and he's like, whoa, didn't see you there, Mrs. J. And she just goes, ninja.
Let's do the exchange.
Whoa, I didn't see you there. You walk softly, Mrs. J.
Ninja. Like, that's literally how it is. It's so
all she says is ninja.
Ninja.
Yeah. And Mrs. J's like, hey, you know, like the Bumblebee code? I will mention it like 5 times. It's like one of the only things I say.
Fidelity.
Like honor, integrity, whatever. Basic ass terms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember like, fidelity.
You gotta do it yourself.
Yeah. She's like, I see the bullshit you're doing, Mr.
It's not
Pearson.
Cool, but I'm not going to tell anyone because I don't actually care.
Yeah. So, like, did they tell Matisse that he was coming? Because the original plan was she was
They must have told Matisse.
Okay.
I don't...
Otherwise, they would have driven right by.
I mean, Emily has a cell phone, question mark?
She does, because she texts Alex later.
And it says in the contacts, like, from Emily.
Yeah.
So she could have texted Matisse.
I bet she's, like, 11 or 12.
Yeah. Well, in 2010, that was a different attitude to having a phone.
Yeah, I got my phone in 5th grade, which is around that age.
Yeah, around that time.
Yeah, around that time.
Dang.
So okay. I had a cell phone.
There you go. So Alex goes and picks up Matisse because, yeah, he's driving because it's his car now, and he has a working car, and it looks like a Bumblebee. Wow. And he's like, wow, I love your new look. And he's like, yeah, my hair, I let the girls do it. She says, oh, I can fix it. Touches his hair like a bunch and tries to fix it. Doesn't fit. It makes it worse.
Let me, and like runs her fingers through it backwards, and it like doesn't help at all. She's like, there. And it's like not better. It's maybe a little worse. I feel like what happened was she's like, oh, I'll help like calm it down. She puts her hands in it and realizes that she can't and just goes, okay. It was pretty funny.
Yeah. So while he's getting in his car, Emily, who texts us at the perfect time, and says, hey, talk about her.
I wonder how she timed that out so perfectly. Yeah. She's like, all right, it takes 10 minutes to get to Matisse's house, and 10 minutes I'll
And obviously
text
Mrs. J is going to stop him for a minute. Add in a minute of traffic.
Add in him going to her door. And he did open the door. Emily said, like, open the door for her. Yeah. And talk about her. And
she's very chivalrous.
Yeah. Emily knows what's up. Emily knows how to treat a woman right. Because she
knows what girls like.
I know what girls like. Girls like kindness.
Excellently done.
Thank you.
All right. So Matisse talks about, yeah, I was a B.
Because he asked about her. He's like, so were you a B? And she's like, yes, I was.
Yeah, I was a B. And then Alex says, well, let me talk about myself.
No, he doesn't.
No, it's a completely fine scene, but I didn't write much down about it because it's really just generic.
She's like, I was a B, and now my little sister is a B. And I don't want her to miss out because our mom is busy. And Alex is like, yeah, I don't want Emily to miss out just because our mom is dead.
Yeah, another dead mom mention, which... it's important for this plot, but also they try to ignore it in a lot of ways.
It's just like the plot wouldn't work if they had a mom.
Yeah.
Really. So, and it like bonds them more together.
Yeah. So they go to the meeting and they see Dina just giving out military orders. How many cookies have you sold?
2,000.
Not enough. How many cookies have you sold?
2,500.
Shoots you with a gun.
Matisse says we sold 3,000, and she's like, "Oh, almost half of what I've sold." And Alex is like, "Well, why don't we like go to the mall?"
Well, they first ask, how many has Troop 57 gun? And he's like, I'm just a junior helper. I don't know the exact number. And she says, how many have you sold? He's like, not enough.
I think we're a little behind. And she's like,
he's like, well, we're going to do a big cookie blitz on Saturday.
Well, no, and he doesn't call it a blitz yet because that's what he calls the competition.
A cookie jamboree.
No. He says, we're going to go sell at the mall. And Matisse is like, no, you can't. That's where Dina's troop sells.
Oh my God. Dina's troops.
That's where Dina's troops sell.
Not her troop, her troops. She's got a little army of 11-year-olds.
For real. And he's like, wait, why does she get to sell at the mall? And they're like, that's just how it is, Alex.
Everyone's like talking through tears.
That's just how it is. And he's like, well, that's not very fair. And Dina's like, well, we can't have everyone sell at the mall. It would be a fiasco. And he's like, sure. But like, why just your troop?
Yeah, wait a second. I may be the only man in this all-woman space. Well, let me tell you, this isn't right.
This isn't working. And the women are
need
like,
a man's view on this.
So he's like, I think we go to the mall and we have a cookie blitz where every troop goes and whoever sells the most cookies gets the mall for the rest of the season. And all the women are like, yes.
Let's go.
Oh, Alex, our savior.
Oh my God. Yeah. I feel like this movie really it's giving a point that is not trying to make, but it very much you can read it as, oh, Alex invading this all-women space is giving them a new perspective that they need to break out. So men invading all-women spaces is a good thing.
In this movie, yeah, it's kind of wild. And he gets them all to vote yes. He's like, all in favor of the cookie blitz, and they vote yes. And then he looks right at Dina and he goes, those opposed say nay. And she doesn't say
really
anything.
Takes a lot of power in this situation.
Yeah.
He's been working here for a week.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Not long at all.
And then he drives home Matisse.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Matisse is like, I'm so proud of you, Alex.
That was so great how you stood up to that bitch, Dina.
You're a big, strong man who can do it for us.
I was really wrong about you.
Cheek kiss.
Oh my God. That's all we ever get in this movie is a cheek kiss.
Yeah. We get a couple of them.
Which is fine. I wish there was a lips kiss.
Den Brother 2.
If there was a Den Brother 2, they would definitely smooch.
If only every place loved it as much as Disney Channel Taiwan.
They played it every weekend. That's crazy.
All right, so now it's the Cookie Blitz.
Yes.
Woo! At the mall, everyone's like walking in. Troop 57, Alex goes, okay, guys, you just got to sell your stuff. Hey, Emily, don't take your princess hat off. We're going to win by being different and being ourselves. We're bumblebees, but we're more than that.
Yes.
Go sell the cookies. I can see why he got voted captain of his team. It's genuinely a fine speech. And also, he's the best player in hockey.
I like how he lets them be themselves.
Yeah.
It's cute. Like, he's pretty good for this troop.
Mm-hmm. No, I feel like a general statement is he's learning from them, they're learning from him, type of thing. And they do make sure it goes both ways, which is good. Yeah. Honestly, I feel like he should have learned more from them.
Yeah. So they're like selling cookies and they're being really cheeky about it. Where like they're forging autographs from some celebrity on each box.
I love that because who cares?
What, are they going to keep that box?
And if they do, who cares? Like, will you ever figure out if it's fake? And that just brings you joy. Whatever.
Yeah. And then this is when they grab the t-shirt cannon and they launch cookies people. And they catch them and they go, oh my gosh, I caught it. And then there's another troop girl there just holding out her hand for money.
Which is such a good ploy. If you catch something,
you have to pay
out
for
of
it
a
now.
cannon, then someone holds it up. He's like, well, yeah, I gotta pay for that.
Now I gotta buy it.
Samoas, I don't like these.
Like Thin Mint? I don't like mint. Take it back.
Yeah.
We said each other's favorites.
Basically, that's everything that happens there. And they're just killing it. They're making a bunch of money. Emily rides a train. I don't get how that helps, but they're getting so many sales by doing these kind of dirty tactics.
Yeah, but it works.
I think this movie was just an excuse for someone in the department that wrote it to get t-shirt cannons. Like, they wanted one, saw how much money it cost, and said, I can work this with a prop department.
We'll use it twice in the movie to really make it worth the money.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that ends like the whole montage of selling. We see Alex and Matisse arguing about which Girl Scout cookie is the best. I'm sorry, which Bumblebee cookie is the best.
Cookies.
Do we want thick mints? Or there was another...
Like the peanut butter ones.
Yeah.
I don't know. I forgot what the Girl Scout one is.
Peanut butter patty, I think.
Peanut butter patties.
Girl Scout, or was.
Yeah.
They changed the name on like all of them except Thin Mint.
I love Samoas, which are now like caramel delights. I also really like the lemon ones. Those are really good. And you like Thin Mints?
I like Thin Mints. I think Thin Mints... it's such a basic opinion. I think they're by far the best one. I don't think any of the other ones are that much. I kind of like the toast ones.
Oh, I don't think I know what those are. I just don't like mint. So those are not for me. Thank you. I love the Samoas though. Those are absolutely delicious.
Yeah. Tell us what your favorite Girl Scout cookie is.
Yeah. Or Bumblebee cookie.
Or Bumblebee cookie if you've had one. Tell us if you were in Bumblebee Scouts. So, meanwhile, all this is happening, and Dina, it's like, hey, Alex, where is Mrs. Zamboni? And he's like, oh, she's not here.
And she's like, oh, she's not here.
Well, this is an official event. She's not here, so I guess all your cookie sales are null and void. And Alex is like, no. I meant she's not here right now. She's obviously...
She's in the mall.
She's in the mall. She's in this store right over here.
Yeah.
Because that's what she's doing.
She's getting those clearance
She saw a sale and had to go shop.
So she's like, all right, I'm going to go find her, Mrs. Zamboni, even though she doesn't know what she looks like.
Yeah.
But she'll find... Well, I guess she saw her with shit on her face.
Yeah.
So she kind of knows what she looks like.
So she runs in to check, and Alex sprints from behind and jumps into a changing room and then pretends to be Mrs. Zamboni.
Yeah, throwing like plus size clothing over to be like, oh, this one isn't my color. Just throwing it on Dina.
Yeah. Haha. Yeah, Dina comes in, argues with it. It's like, shouldn't you be out with your girls? And Mrs. Zamboni goes, shouldn't you be out with yours, dearie? Roasted.
Yeah, totally roasted. And Dina's like, whatever.
Yeah. Want to shout this out just randomly? I don't know why I'm thinking about it here. There's many times where Alex will just leave these girls, and they're all completely fine, healthy, and pretty independent. They do not need a leader.
Yeah, I mean, they do.
They do
right
in
now,
a lot of ways, but this is why it works, is they're all actually pretty mature about it.
Right now, it's more of a pass because literally every troop is there.
Yeah. And
there's many adults, so I think it's fine.
Well, I just think these girls are very strong, and that's why they can work with this lie, and it doesn't feel that weird, is they all seem very capable and willing to game the system for their own gain.
Yeah.
So Miss Zamboni's basically like, also, we're like kicking your ass out there. Oh, we've sold so many more cookies than you. Oh, Mickey Mouse. And then Dina storms out, but Matisse jumps in and is like, hey, Miss Zamboni, I think you're like really cool, but also like Alex is hot and amazing. And Miss Zamboni's like, oh yeah, he's such a hot man.
He's so nice.
He's so nice, and so good. And this conversation actually never comes back later, which is weird because it seems like it would be a point of contention. Oh.
She's like, any girl would be lucky to be his girlfriend. And Matisse is like, oh my God, you're right.
It's just weird. He's just, again, it's just, we don't really get a callback to that scene where it's like, Matisse is like, you were lying to me. You were talking yourself up.
She knows he lied about it. So, yeah, I mean, do we really need to
Other DCOMs
address
consistently
that.
do that.
Of course he'd be talking himself up. Like, I feel like it's not that big of an offense.
No, but I just mean like it was a personal moment of lying directly to her.
Yeah.
For his
he
own
lied
gain.
to everybody.
Yeah.
I feel like in terms of you took advantage of me, it was one very generic conversation where he was pretending to be Miss Zamboni, where he's like, Alex is cool. It's not like he promised her something or she took explicit advice from Mrs. Zamboni, you know?
Yeah. All right. So we continue on to meeting back up with Troop 57, which guess what? They won. They sold the most.
Yeah.
They're going to be able to go to the mall to sell. Woo!
Oh my God.
We never see the mall again, by the way.
But then one little girl's like, oh my God, what is that badge?
Oh my God, look at her badge.
Oh my God, is that homemade? It looks so stupid.
It's fake. Insane.
And Dina's like, oh no.
Oh no, girlies. What's that badge for?
And Matisse is like, Alex, only a couple are supposed to be like specific. Most of them are supposed to be already made badges.
Yeah. And Gina's like, what was your badge for? Making a sandwich? And they're like, yeah.
Yeah.
One of the kids says bumblebees, more like wannabes. Oh!
And Dina's like, that's right.
Dina is fully backing this combined bullying effort.
That was probably her daughter.
Yeah,
Like-
love it. Love it, want to have it.
And so the girls are really embarrassed. And they're
Yeah.
like, this isn't going to count for Camporee.
Yeah, you don't have enough badges to count for Camporee. And Matisse goes to Alex and is like, how could you? And storms
Alex,
off.
how could you?
Right after talking to Mrs. Zamboni, who's like, Alex is the most wonderful person I've ever seen.
Well, now she knows that he was taking advantage of these girls.
Yeah.
Because he was. I feel like...
And as Matisse's group storms off, one of the girls there steals the show.
She
just shakes
her
her head disappointingly. It's just
it's
so funny. I don't know if there's anything like to describe it as well. It's just
She is just an unnamed girl there, and she shakes her head so disappointingly at Alex. It's pretty funny.
yeah, man. So Alex is sad. And you know what he does when he's sad? He talks to his best friend Goose. You remember Goose?
Yeah, he goes to the game, and it's after the game, and Goose is like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so happy you finally came out to one of the games. We've won 4 in a row."
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, and he's like, yeah, I came to watch the game. And Goose is like, nah, you came to just feel sorry for yourself. This is about you. Oh, why don't you come here when you ever care about us? You're so selfish.
Well, and he's like, Goose like, "You're here for you," and he's like, "Yeah, how do I get the girls to not be mad at me anymore? And how do I get Matisse to go on a date with me?" And Goose is like, "It's always about you." And he's like, "How do I make it seem like I'm doing the right thing?"
And Alex is like, I think I got this. Thank you, Goose. And Goose is like, wait, what are you doing?
The interactions with Goose are like always so weird
Yeah.
that I don't know how to feel about them.
It just feels like weird exposition, like transitionary pieces.
Yeah, weird of like
Goose doesn't feel like a character.
No, and Goose like, "You need to be a better person, Alex." Like, Goose always gets really angry at Alex, where I don't think he should be that angry. But the point is that Alex is supposed to like not be a great person right now, and he grows and he learns.
Yeah.
It just doesn't feel super well done in that aspect. But again, I like this movie. I feel like Alex is a character I kind of like, actually.
I understand he just kind of did slave labor, but also he was helping them in a lot of ways. He was still giving them a troop.
He's still giving them a troop. He's still lying for them to Dina and going through the whole charade of being Miss Zamboni. And yes, the badge thing was wrong, but he's about to make up for it.
Yeah. So the girls all meet up after school, and they're like, okay, our plan is just not to talk to Alex, but we still need him, so we're not going to like try and kick him to the curb or anything.
Yeah, we're not going to be too mean and too mad, but we are mad.
Wait a second. What's that hanging on a wall? It's a pair of binoculars.
Oh, and a note or something.
Yeah. Oh my God, it says to go like stand in this place and look for your next clue. Oh my God, it's another one of those. And they go on a little scavenger
They
hunt.
just walk off on their own.
Yep. Again,
Unsupervised.
no guardian.
Yeah.
And it leads them to a campsite where Alex is all set up with tents and everything. And it's like, hey, welcome everybody. You just got an orienteering badge.
There you go.
There you go. Because you just orienteered. All right, let's get some badges. And the kids are like, what? Okay, that's fine.
Okay, let's get some real badges.
So they get a fitness badge by doing some sit-ups. They get a camping/tent building badge.
Yeah, that's probably a badge. They do archery.
Ursula just absolutely gets a bullseye.
Yeah, and this doesn't come back. She just is randomly good at it.
They get a fire starting badge. Rachel builds a fire with just a stick.
She rubs the stick and it starts a fire, and she's like, oh my god, I can start a fire.
She gets very excited to do some arson.
And Alex is like, yes, but only in a controlled campsite area are you going to start a fire. Okay.
Woohoo! All right, we saw 5 badges on screen. There's a world where maybe they did some off screen, but that's that.
But they say it's enough for Camporee.
They say, he goes like, okay, yay, everybody, we have enough badges for Camporee. Woo! Pause? What? Like, well, they really only needed 5 more?
Yeah. They probably had some from before Alex took over.
But they said they were behind at that point.
Yeah, so because they needed to find more. I'm guessing a couple of his badges probably count because Matisse was like, a couple can be, I don't know. I'm not reading too far into it.
It doesn't matter too much, especially because Alex is like, but we don't have enough cookie sales.
Right, and cookies is how we pay for Camporee. I'm so surprised they don't have enough after they won the mall thing.
Yeah, well, they never went back to the mall, which the whole point was.
Well, when was that? Yesterday?
And they're like, well, cookie sales are closed, so we can't do more.
Yeah, why are they closed?
The Cookie Blitz plotline doesn't make sense.
No, so they need to find another way to make money. So they're like...
Rachel says, can we sell blood?
Rachel says, let's sell our blood.
Great idea.
And they're like, Rachel, no. And then they say, what about muffins? Everybody loves muffins.
Oh my god, I love muffins. They're so much better than cupcakes.
This makes me mad. Because muffins, like... There's a cost to making muffins, right?
Yeah.
Materials, ingredients.
Time.
They, like, not only have to have the little wrapping for the muffin, probably, but they also bag them up. Where'd they get the bags? And what, they're just going to bake a shit ton of muffins? They're like, we need to make 415 muffins each. Like,
we'd see like one of them doing the calculations on it. I think
randomly, Ursula just like starts boop boop boop. First off, how much are you selling these for? Second, how much does it cost?
Nothing's been agreed upon. She just goes boop 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 boop. We gotta sell 2,075 total muffins.
What the fuck?
We're gonna be led to believe that they accomplished this goal.
They don't say they don't.
And it doesn't make sense. They go to a hockey game.
Well, yeah, so they're like brainstorming, like, where should we go? Probably somewhere where people are hungry.
And it's cold.
And it's cold because the muffins are going to be warm, which this is bullshit.
They're not warm.
What, are you going to pull them straight out of the oven? If you, like, heat them up, if you warm them up and then sell it, yes. But that's not what they do. So he's like... I don't know. And they're like, the hockey game. And he's like, stop bringing up the hockey game. We need to think of somewhere to sell it. And they're like, Alex,
it's the
hockey game. And he's like, oh.
Yeah. He hates it, but it's the right call. It really feels like, especially after the scene with Goose, that he's trying to lead them on to the hockey game. But no, he genuinely doesn't want to go to the hockey game.
No. And he says, too, he's like, I don't know, like, Dina's probably going to be there and other parents and my team's going to be there. And they're like, but don't worry.
We got a plan for this. So they're cooking the muffins for this. There's a whole little scene about it. Yeah. But their big thing is they're like, we're going to give you a makeover. Mrs. Zamboni's going to go instead.
Yeah.
Rachel, of course, knows like prosthetic makeup.
Because she does her own vampire makeup.
Of course. Rachel is like goated.
She really
I get why the other kids are jealous of her and ostracize her.
They're just mad that they're not as cool as Rachel.
Yeah. So they go to the game. And all of the little kids in Troop 57 have their own little cute stands that are like holding the muffins. And they all say cupcakes on them.
They say cupcakes. And they are not cupcakes. They are muffins.
Yeah. They also have like a backward letter on the cupcakes.
Yeah, the K is backwards.
They keep making fun of like, oh, it's looking like little babies. And Emily does like a little baby voice.
Emily plays into it, yeah. they're like, how much? And he's like, oh, it's $8 or whatever. She says, like, pretending to be a little girl. And they're like, okay, we all have to go sell muffins.
I don't get how they're going to sell 2,045. I could buy 200.
Yeah.
Like, that would make more sense.
There's not even 2,000.
But maybe they just raise their price. Maybe they're like, you forgot to carry a 0.
I don't know. And also the whole thing of, like, we need money for Camporee.
Yeah.
I guess.
So,
I feel like these goals for getting into Camporee should be very attainable for each troop so that they can participate in Camporee, right?
Well, maybe it is obtainable. We don't know how bad the den mother was doing beforehand.
Yeah.
Alex has only been there for a little bit. So guess what? Dina is at the game. She mentions that her husband has to be at every one of these.
And we'll find out who that is later. They really don't make a big deal.
They don't. It's like literally a small plot twist, and they don't make a deal.
I mainly knew that they were married because in the cast list, like the character list, they have the same last name.
Yeah.
But whatever.
We'll just say it.
Oh, she's married to the ref.
She's married to the ref.
/ coach. So, yeah, I don't know. Whatever. Not that it's super important. It's just like one scene later, it matters a little bit.
Yeah. So Dina's like, hey girls, how are you abroad without a den mother? That's like a class 1 violation and you're going to be executed by a firing squad.
Why is she so obsessed with this troop just because they kind of break the rules?
Because they're not getting into line and Alex is being mean. She wants order above anything else.
Yes, because she's a Nazi.
Yes. So she literally whips out her phone, goes on speed dial to
for
Bumblebee's
911
headquarters. Oh. Bumblebee's headquarters.
Yeah,
is
what?
On her speed dial. Alex calls that out later on.
And this is underfunded? They have a headquarters that take emergency calls.
Yeah. But Alex, as Mrs. Zamboni shows up, it's just a full drag outfit. You think any drag queen has done this? No,
it's full Mrs. Doubtfire. Big nose, very powdery. Old lady vibes. And he's like, oh, I'm here. I'm Mrs. Zamboni.
Yeah. Alex is like, why do you have them on speed dial? Or sorry, I'm Mrs. Zamboni. Why do you have them on speed dial? You're kind of crazy. Just watch the game, you idiot.
And
okay,
Dina's
girls.
like, okay.
Okay, girls. Oh, I can talk in my real voice. Okay, girls. Just sell your muffins like crazy.
And Tina's like, I can't do it. I'm so shy. And they're like, Tina, you have to.
Tina, dig deep.
Dig deep.
So Tina dig deep, and guess what? She's a natural at it. She's like, muffins! Get your muffins here!
Get your muffins! Hey, you want a muffin? I got an oat brand muffin for you. You want a chocolate muffin? And everybody loves it. And she's killing it.
Yeah.
And she runs into Matisse.
Is like, man, Tina, is that you? And she's like, yeah, I don't know what's come over me, but I kind of like it.
I kind of like it. I think I found my summer job.
Yeah.
Selling muffins.
Meanwhile, Alex isn't selling muffins. He just goes and watches the game.
He's watching the game, like, as he's walking by, and he's like, come on! And then he realizes he's dressed like the same one. He's like, oh, so I'm just into the game.
Yeah.
And then the coach.
This is stupid.
The coach is yelling at them, like, come on! We need to win this. How are we losing right now? And aren't they tied?
I think they are tied.
I think they're tied. He's like, how are we losing this game? And they've won 4 in a row.
Yeah.
He is not.
Like, I wish Alex was here.
Well, no, he doesn't say that. He's like, we should be winning. And Alex, as Ms. Zamboni yells, put Alex in. And coach just like hears it and goes, if Alex was here right now, I would lift the suspension on the spot and put him in.
Alex says, say less, immediately starts
rips
the wig off, jumps into like the
somehow
box, gets his skates on with no worries.
No uniform. He's still wearing the Miss Zamboni
They don't
outfit.
get a penalty for 6 men on the ice. I don't know how.
And like he just goes and takes a buck and scores and they win.
Yep.
And it's ridiculous.
Everyone there is just like, why is there an old lady on the ice?
He scores so easily because every player is utterly shocked that this old looking woman, who's actually Alex, is on the rink, is on the ice. And they're like, huh? And then he scores and they win. He's like, yes, I did it. And then everybody is like, oh my God, that's Alex.
The announcer's like, oh my God, Alex is back. He's amazing.
The announcer loves him, yeah.
Don't forget, the announcer doing all the hockey scenes that we've seen that we haven't even really talked about, it does nothing but suck Alex's dick.
Yeah, no, literally before Alex got on the rink, the whole game, he's like, wow, they're doing this. They've won 4 games despite Alex not being there. Huh. They're without Alex, but they're tied. Like, it's every sentence he brings it up.
So Alex is celebrating post the game. Everyone else is just kind of weirded out. Goose skates to him. He's like, hey, Goose, we won.
No, Alex, you won.
And
you
he
did.
Storms off of the ice.
And like, Dina sees and's like, oh my God, your ass is grass.
You're done.
You're done. I caught you, motherfucker. And Emily and the girls walk away really sad. And Matisse is probably also shocked.
Also, the dad showed up. It was like the first game the dad showed up.
And he sees this happen. Yeah, it's a bummer. I just am so mad that they let this happen where like a guy not in uniform can just go on the ring.
This is the most absurd part of the movie.
It
and
is.
The fact is the rest of the movie honestly works. And this doesn't because it's too weird.
Yeah.
In a different DCOM, this would be completely fine.
Yeah.
But in this one, it just doesn't.
So Alex fucked up because he exposed the lie.
Yeah. He exposed the lie.
For a very selfish
His
reason.
hockey teammates are, well, the only one that actually has any lines is Goose, is mad because he did it for himself, not for the team.
But they still won.
Yeah, I know, but
so,
everyone hates
I don't
him.
get why they're so mad.
And the dad came to a game for the first time, and all he saw was Alex be selfish.
Yeah, and wear a dress.
Yeah. All right. Now back to our predictable DCOM. Back at home, Emily's pissed at Alex. Alex is like, hey, we can watch this Discount Coco Melon. It's a new episode.
Yeah, it's on, and she just doesn't care.
She just grabs the handbook and leaves. Alex goes talk to his dad, and he's like, hey, can you force, like, Emily to hang out with me again?
And Dad's like, no. And he's like, okay, well, are you gonna, like, ground me?
Ground me for 10 weeks.
And the dad's like, no, I'm not gonna punish you. Because I want you to feel the consequences. If I made you do chores...
You'd feel like it was made up.
Yeah, after it's done, you'd be like, okay, I made it up and it's done. I want you to really feel it. And feel like you fucked up.
Feel like you ruined Emily and things for Emily and her friends. Because
like
you did.
Down.
Even though I feel like everyone should be giving him credit for how long he's been able to keep this lie up. I feel like that's not what people are talking about, where it's like, you did this pretty selfless thing where you took a lot of your free time away to help your sister be a guardian and like keep her and her friends happy. I understand you had a moment of lapsed judgment and it ended badly, but
it's a very interesting plot because it's like, here Alex is, we know he's in the wrong in this big moment about like being punished, blah, blah, blah. But all that happened was that the lie was exposed. Like, are we saying that the lying was purely a good thing? I guess so.
I guess we are, and honestly, it is.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's just weird because I feel like this shouldn't be the way. And at the end, like, you know, he'll become their
also, he should have just told the dad what he was doing from the beginning.
Well,
maybe the
dad knows now.
Yeah.
At the very least, he knows now. And he's disappointed in Alex for, like, exposing it. And now the girls don't have a dead mother. And that's what's shitty. And it's like, they never had one, though. They had Alex. It's just really weird. And I haven't quite wrapped my head around how I feel about it. Of like, does this make sense? Is this the direction it should be going?
I don't know.
I don't know. It's interesting, at the very least. It's interesting. It's a little more of a twist. This very much, in a lot of ways, feels like every other DCOM. But at the same time, it's different.
It's simultaneously the most predictable and least DCOM.
Yeah.
So Alex just goes into the garage and starts shooting his little hockey pucks because that's what he likes to do.
And he misses just like Troy Bolton when he's sad.
Well, he makes like one of them, but it's an empty net, so you should be making all of them. Yeah. And suddenly Mrs. Jabberwocky's dog finds him outside and he goes, huh, that's interesting. And he
the dog looks like an Ewok.
Goes and returns the dog.
Yeah, he brings it to her door, and she's like,
says,
"Oh,
thank you, Mrs. Zamboni. It's a small town. You better come in."
He's like, "All right." And then on the wall, she has a ton of badges from the bumblebees, and he's like, "Is that yours?" And she's like, "Yeah, and my daughter's, and someone
and
else's.
My granddaughters.
Oh, granddaughters as well. She's old.
Yeah, she is old. She walks with a cane."
And he's looking at the photos, and it's her as an adult with like 3 girls in the troop, and he's like, "Wait, I know this photo. I have this photo in my house. That's my mom in the middle. Like his mom is the kid."
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I like that little.
That was really cute. He's like,
his mom was in her troop.
Yeah, which is really cool. And Mrs. Jacklitz, that's her real name.
Aww.
She's like, "Yeah, she was an excellent scout." And Alex is like, "Yeah, my mom should have been Emily's dead mother. Really, anyone would have been better than me."
He's like crying.
Yeah, he's really sad.
Mrs. J's like, "Okay, well, I need a bunch of chores done."
She's like, "I need my garden redone and my house
my gutters
painted.
cleaned and paint my fence."
And he's like, yes, I will do it." And he's like, "All right, then I'll be their dead mother." Like, she comes out of the gate with, "I have chores I need done," instead of saying like, "Well, I could maybe be their dead mother." Like, that's said after the fact. So it was just a little confusing at first to be like, "Yeah, your mom was a cool scout. Yeah. I have chores that I need done."
Everything got said out of order.
Yeah.
Well, whatever.
He's like, yes, I will do it if you be their dead mother.
So hooray, the kids are going to have someone again. So Alex goes back to the troop, and they all are just like chilling him out.
Ice cold.
Icing him. They're giving him the silent treatment. They're all like, "You're a jerk.
You're a jerk." And he's
like, "I'm sorry." He gives a genuine apology.
Yeah, he's like, "I'm so sorry."
It feels good. It feels reasonably earned.
Yeah.
That "I'm sorry" won't get us into Camporee. He's
yeah.
like, "Well, maybe not, but I found someone who can." "Mrs. J, here's your new dead mother, everybody."
And they're like, "Whoa, an old lady in a uniform."
So Alex,
with all the badges.
Alex leaves because he's like, "All right, I'm done here."
Mm-hmm.
And she has them read out the code, and they're like, "Loyalty,
fidelity,
and another one."
whatever.
I don't remember. But it's like, "Can you explain what fidelity is?" And it's like, "Loyalty." And she's like, "That's interesting. And what do you guys think about Alex?" And they're like, "He's a liar." But you guys knew about Mrs. Zamboni, didn't you?
Yeah, they're like, "He's a liar." And she's like, "Well, you also were lying."
So, get good?
So that's not a good reason. Try again. I think we should do a go for it.
Yeah, Mrs. Zamboni says, "I think we should do a go for it." And like Ursula says, "But what are we going for?" Kelsey, the first time we were watching this,
I called it out.
If you're watching at home, try and guess in your mind what it could be.
What are we going for, everyone?
Forgiveness.
It's so predictable.
It's so fucking funny. It is such a standard issue.
Yeah, I said forgiveness right before she did. I'm like, I swear I've never seen this before. I was trying to be funny, and that's literally what she said. All
right, now for the end of the movie, really.
Yeah,
hockey. This has kind of gone quick.
I mean, not that quick. We're almost at 2 hours.
No, I'm saying like the plot of the movie. I feel like is pretty quick.
Yeah, there's not like that much plot, but there's enough plot to make a movie.
Yeah. It's at the hockey game. They're against the dreaded rivals. You guys remember Titus and the crazy tension, the sexual tension? Wait, do that again? One more time? That's kind of gross. Titus comes up to bully Alex, but Alex is like, "Bro, I do not care."
I don't care.
And Titus is like, "Aw."
Because he's in love with Alex.
All he lives for is these flirting moments.
Yeah.
The coach calls audible and says, "Hey, everybody, exclusively pass to Alex. He's back, so I'm reverting back to that strategy."
And Alex says, can I say something, coach?"
And the coach says, "Yes, everybody listen to Alex. He is smart, intelligent, kind, and the only person that matters in the world. Y'all sorry's asses are stupid as hell."
Go ahead, Alex. And Alex is like, "Hey, I'm sorry that I won the game for us."
He's like, I've been so selfish my whole time. My time off has taught me stuff like that. I don't deserve to be captain. He rips the C off of his jersey.
It's like Velcro.
Which is wild. I guess Velcro could work.
But does it really?
It feels like it's something that should be stitched on or pressed on.
I think it should be like an armband or something.
Yeah. But instead it's the C on the jersey, and he rips it off and gives it to Goose.
Yeah, he's like, I don't deserve this. And Goose is like, Alex, I don't want to be captain. I just want you to be a good captain. Which I think is a rare good Goose moment. Yeah, no, Goose is finally a good guy. Like, Goose has been so annoying the whole movie, and he's finally fine. And Alex is like, all right, I'll be the captain. Okay. But we're going to do Goose's plan. Yeah, they're going to do the pressure offense like they were talking about before. Woo, so the game starts. And like on the first face-off, it's Alex versus Titus. And Titus is like, I'm going to stick to you like glue, Alex. And Alex is like, okay, that's cool. And Alex like immediately passes the puck, but Titus doesn't know. And he just skates backward. So Alex is just like kind of skating to nowhere. And Titus is so focused on him that he doesn't realize that Goose goes and scores. Yeah, which doesn't really work like that in hockey. No, because it's at least one-on-one coverage, and somebody should be covering Goose. But it's a kind of fun moment, so whatever. So they're up 1-0, and that can just happen. Goose could have just beat a guy. It's pretty possible. Yeah. So after they go up 1-0, we just get a bunch of cuts of Alex getting absolutely checked and bodied by people. They're really physically hurting him. Yeah, it's a lot like Genius, where they're like, oh, we're going to beat up the good player. But that in this movie, it allows the rest of the team to score because Alex is taking all of the heat. So it's near the end of the game, and it's 3-3. So I guess whoever gets the next goal will have a winning goal this time. Haha. Yeah. And Alex hits the puck near his own net, and he drives on down, like spinning away from one guy, just absolutely breaking the ankles of another. And he's dangling down, and he's got a good chance at a goal, but he passes to Goose. Oh my God. Who could have expected that the selfish guy would have passed at the last moment to the one other named player on the team? No one else. Everyone's like, why? Okay, it's cool that Alex isn't hogging the puck anymore, but now he only gives it to Goose. Maybe Goose is the only other good player on the team. Yeah. Goose scores. They win. Yeah. Everyone celebrates. Woo! At the end of the game, we see Goose talking with the ref. The ref who's the coach of the All-Star team. Yes. Goose got invited to the All-Star team. Oh my God, he's like, wait, but Alex, it should have been you. Alex is clearly better than Goose. I know. So, and Alex is like, no, man, no. It's all okay. Good. I'm happy for you. And True 57 came. They were cheering him on. Yay, they forgive him. And oh my God, Matisse is there. And she was cheering him on. Why is she there? Oh my God, the dad is there. Yeah, and Alex like, oh my God, you finally came to my game. I just wish you could have seen me at my best. And the dad says, no, I'm pretty sure I just did. I just did. This is so, it's so dumb. The whole ending seems so on the nose. It's so cheesy. It's funny. It is funny. It's really by the numbers. Especially when it's like, what was Alex sorry for being good at hockey? Sorry I was so good at hockey, you guys. Let's let Goose be good at hockey now. Yeah. And Alex is like, wait, girls, I'm so worried about you being prepared for Camporee. And they're like, oh yeah, we're almost ready. We only have one thing left to pack. Mrs. J kind of sucks. Our dead mother. No, they're like, she's all right, but we want you to be our dead mother. And he's like, okay, yeah, woo. And he like tells him like, are you all packed? Do you have your tents and blah, blah, blah? Like, what do they need tents for? Nothing. It's an indoor event. I know. That's what I'm mad about. So then we go to Camporee. Woo! You didn't think we'd go through the movie without seeing what Camporee was, right? It's just we kind of do. We don't really get to see anything happen. It's a big party, carnival kind of thing. It's like an all-day Girl Scout event. Yeah, so it's very confusing. Alex goes to sign in, and there's just this like 11-year-old girl doing the sign-ins. But then she walks away, and Dina comes up. Dina, and she's like, you can't sign in because you don't need exist. A dead mother. Yeah, but the girls found a loophole in the code and said, well, actually, even though there wasn't a shroop, we can still do it because of this weird bylaw. Wahaha. They all got their parents' written consent that Alex can be their den mother,
Yeah.
basically. And she's like, well, you need to be in uniform.
Haha, that's impossible to solve.
But then
Tina
Matisse
wins.
goes, come here, I'll help you. So Matisse helps, and they get Alex dressed in the Bumblebee uniform. He's wearing the skirt and everything.
Yeah. And it's a whole moment where
He's
if I cared more about gender roles, maybe this would be a bigger moment, but it kind of feels kind of lame as like the ultimate climax.
It's just like he finally puts on the uniform and becomes truly one of them, you know? Because the whole time he like never wore the uniform.
Yeah. So Dina's like so mad about it. It's like, this is making a mockery of the Bumblebee.
Yeah, husband do something. She's like, do something about this.
Husband.
And he goes, I will. Hey, Alex, from what I've seen from you, looks like you're a good leader and exactly the kind of player I'd want on my all-star team. Do you want to be on the all-star team?
The hockey all-stars.
And Dina's like, what?
Woo! And Alex is like, well, that would be great, but I have to check on my Bumblebee troop schedule first.
Because they come first.
Yay!
Yay!
Alex.
And then Matisse kisses him on the cheek.
And that's the movie.
Yeah!
Woo! And then we get bloopers in the credits.
Yeah, those were cute. I always love a good blooper in the credits.
It's one of the best things you can do with credits.
Yeah.
Overall, as we were talking through this movie, even when describing it, it's shocking that it works. It doesn't feel like it should work.
It really doesn't. And there's a couple things that are weird, but
and
like
it's not a home run, but it's like a double or a triple, which is wild.
It's pretty good. It like the humor mostly works. The plot mostly works. Like it's pretty basic.
The acting is generically good.
Yeah. Like it's just way more enjoyable of a watch than I expected it to be. Yeah. So good for you, Den Brother.
Shout out Den Brother.
It was actually pretty fun. Like, it's probably not as good as us talking about it. Like, if you go and watch it, I promise it's really not that bad. Like, it's pretty good. Final Jakehouse ranking was 32. BenG, you had it at 31.
So I was pretty accurate to everything there.
And I have it a little lower at 41. I have it in B tier, which I feel like is very accurate to how I feel about it. Like, it's right in B tier. It's pretty good. It's not an A movie, but it's a decent watch. So I have it right above Gotta Kick It Up, actually. I
had it low A tier, which might still be accurate.
Yeah.
I'll see how we feel about this on a re-rank.
I don't think it's quite A tier, but
there's not a moment of this film that I'm not having a good time. Where a lot of like the B tier ones, I feel like are good moments interspersed with like mediocre, fine filler.
Maybe we just disagree on what a B tier movie means.
Maybe.
Yeah. Because I feel like B tier is like, it's good, but not my favorite. But generically good. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Whereas C is like, meh. D is it's bad. F is it's really bad.
All right. That's our episode on Den Brother. If you have any comments about it, just message us however you can. Email us at thedcomduo@gmail.com.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for listening. Now is the time of the episode where we choose our next DCOM. And by choose, I mean we spin the wheel.
Woo!
And we make predictions. So what do you think the next DCOM is going to be?
I think it's going to be Bad Hair Day.
Ooh. I think it should probably be like an older one. So I'm going to say Right on Track.
Right on Track.
Yeah. All right. Let's spin the wheel.
Bum.
Oh my gosh. It is an old one. Not Right on Track. A different old one.
What is it?
The 13th year.
13th year. Okay.
Yeah. This is going to be fun. This
is one that we were looking forward to talking about. Love this movie? No.
This is exactly the old, like, whimsical vibe I wanted. Because we've had a lot of, like, more recent
We've had a lot of the 2010s era.
Let's throw back to our 13th year, baby.
All right. Well, tune in next time to listen to us talk about the 13th year. Thank you. Bye-bye.
scenes from our next episode.
You're beautiful!
So what? I'm thirsty. I've been thirsty lately.
I got you a gift. It's a framed picture of myself.
It's so weird in my 13th year.
That is the best end credit song in any DCOM. It is best end credit song in any movie? The fact that people haven't heard that is a shame.
Yeah. Thank God I have it immortalized on my Disney Channel CD.
Oh no, I'm turning into a mermaid.
Way to throw that in there.